My lords, as you know, we've covered both the legendary and the renowned Paragons. Today we shall discuss the others, the remaining Paragons, outcasts who we know exist in our universe, beginning with Reth Unddol and his adversary, the Tiyanki Matriarch. A creature of legend swims between the gas giants dotting the Roskin system. With tentacles longer than one of our battleships, her gargantuan proportions defy all our previous encounters with organic life. The creature's magnificent glowing hide stands out startlingly against the void of space. She is old, remarkably so, a true ancient, covered end to end with battle scars and growths. A gigantic unexploded proton torpedo is lodged in the Matriarch's back, and the fractured remains of broken starships in the system speak of what manner of fate befell any vessels that stray too close to this magnificent creature. We sent a battle group to slay the beast. Upon entering the system, they closed distance at flank speed and opened fire. The battle was short, and fortunately no casualties were sustained. Our victorious fleet circles the dying Tiyanki Matriarch, her glowing flesh scored by countless blast marks, the violent thrashing of her tentacles still trying to grasp nearby ships. First, she slows, and then draws abruptly to an end. At last she expires, the ancient Matriarch laid to rest like her many would-be hunters before us. A mysterious vessel covered in vicacious fluids and damaged by digestive juices blasted its way out of the corpse of the fallen Tiyanki Matriarch. Our fleet stood at the ready, but the ship immediately powered down its weapons and engines after emerging. It hailed us. A ragged captain appeared on our viewing screens. I am Captain Reth Unddol of the AH775.1 Long have I suffered in the caustic bowels of that fell beast. Decades ago, I came to hunt it, to repay a debt long overdue. Alas, I could not lay this baleful matriarch to an end, and when she swallowed my ship whole, I was certain I would never see the light of the stars again. I'm glad to see I was mistaken. For putting my nightmare to rest, I pledge my life, loyalty, and my ship to you. I have spent years bringing down anything that traverses the stars. Space amoebas, crystals, nightmarish entities beyond your realm of understanding. I have hunted them all. If you want, I can even hunt down the most dangerous prey. Reth is a highly capable admiral and very aggressive in combat. He is mercilessly obsessive and singular in purpose, to the point he will take an opening whenever offered, even if it puts him and his ship at significant risk. Tuborek. During recent survey of a previously undiscovered system in what we believe used to be the military isolationist territory, we discovered a shielded world. All attempts by our science team to penetrate the barrier with its sensors failed. The scanning beam was simply deflected back at the ship as if it was looking towards a mirror. The barrier's energy readings are fluctuating somewhat, possibly a result of thousands of years of decay, but breaching it with raw firepower is still impossible. The science team attending has proposed a special project to investigate ways of removing the barrier, but we wonder if it was created to keep something in rather than something out. As you know, my lords, our experience with these shields has often been quite poor. In a previous report, we encountered a genocidal race of lizards known as the Preki. Nevertheless, we shall attempt to bring the shield down. After many months, we have managed to lower the energy barrier that surrounds the planet. What we found was an indistinct but habitable world, yet devoid of all civilization. There was one notable exception, however. A small, isolated hut was found perched upon a mesa in the planet's northern hemisphere. Within the hut, we found an old alien who demanded to speak with our government. You cannot imagine how good it is to finally see clear skies again. I am Grand Admiral Tuborek. I personally oversaw the conquest of the Uppbeat, Rikinak, Bilnark, and Jaskari hundreds of your centuries ago. As my saviour, I pledge my service to you. I should be honoured to lead your mighty fleets into battle against your enemies. We of course asked why he was marooned upon the planet. He stated, Without my leadership skills, my people would just be another extinct forgotten species. I crushed the fleets of all who opposed us and put a dozen worlds to the torch, all to preserve the future of my kind. And this was my reward. When peace finally arrived and we sought treaties with those who we had defeated, my presence became an embarrassment. I had become a symbol of cruelty, and for my so-called war crime, I was imprisoned alone on this world. They lacked the courage to execute me. When they abandoned me, it was explained that time would pass more slowly on the inside of the energy barrier. For me, some 40 years have passed, while in the rest of the universe, untold centuries must have come and gone. Tuborek, as expected, is a fantastic admiral. He tends to follow aggressive tactics, demanding to be the tip of the spear. And similar to Reth, he is obsessive and singular in purpose, to the point where he will also always take an advantage when offered, even if it puts him and his ship at risk. All things considered, he is an extremely capable admiral. Caretaker AX7-B. What we first thought to be asteroid debris orbiting Antek 6 has, upon closer inspection, turned out to be a halo of motionless drop pods. It appears that the drop pods surrounding the planet have been drifting powerless for quite some time. The science teams investigating report that whatever aliens these pods were transporting are now but withered husks on board, having evidently perished hundreds of thousands of years ago. One such pod, however, has shown signs of onboard activity. While its engines are disabled, scans suggest its communications array is undamaged. The science team hailed them. On the screen appeared some sort of machine. It began to speak, initiating communications protocol. "Hello, unidentified visitor. I am Caretaker AX7-B of the Zolin Drop Pod 175. I've been programmed to assist citizens during the resettlement procedure. Unfortunately, a hyperdrive malfunction led drop pods 114 through 175 to exit hyperspace 18 parsecs from our intended destination. I attended the citizens as best I could. I managed to prevent cannibalism for 1840 days. Unfortunately, the air supply eventually ran out. I did try to call for help via the emergency beacon, but 312 years after our arrival, I had to turn it off. I received a message from Zolin Prime, my homeworld. Apparently, our target planet was inhospitable. The other caretaker robots were stuck in a similar situation to me. None of our charges survived. Do you have citizens in need of tending? If so, I would be happy to care for them. We believe the caretaker will make an effective governor. We think it will have success in increasing leader experience and population growth speed through efficiency changes. We also expect, if put to work on a research planet, it may increase the output of our specialist citizens. Our recommendation is that it will make an effective governor. S875.1 Warform. Engineering units assigned to dredge debris from a toxic swamp on Dagobah report that they have pulled out a damaged warship. They report that the swamp had damaged the ship's vital systems, but they have replaced its corroded reponents where necessary, including its discharged power core. As the hulking warship was powered back on and regained operative status, it became evident that the machine possessed a notable degree of artificial intelligence. It attempted to open communications. The AI seemed relatively subservient. It began communications with a warning. Diagnostics have not been run for 1,761,125 days, and asked if we would like to run them now, to which we of course agreed. The AI began to run diagnostics and listed several highly capable weapon systems as online and available. Its core memory status, however, was severely damaged. The AI, despite its vastly powerful offensive capability, did not seem to be aggressive in any way. As such, the dialogue was continued. We asked what happened to it. Unit S875.1 was isolated from command units. Unit was unable to escape hazardous planetary environment. On day 1,761,125, the unit's reserve generators failed. The unit faced gradual molecular dissolution due to hostile surface solvents. Yet, unit persists. Unit understands entities performed reparations. Unit will serve new entities. We expect that this AI will make a capable admiral. It should be effective in planning logistical battle tactics, and most interestingly, its time in the swamps of Dagobah appear to have taught the AI how to repair its own armor. As such, it's extremely resistant to energy-based weaponry compared to conventional neutronium armor. The Oracle. The Oracle should all be familiar with you, my lords, but we acquired her only a matter of months ago. If I may remind you, we found her on a crashed alien space station on Carador Prime. It was a self-contained habitat consisting of an arthropod civilization of approximately 1 million aliens, all of whom had mysteriously died. After much research, we discovered that the space station was owned and operated by a megacorp designated Oracle. They, in their capitalistic wisdom, had set up the station to be run by an AI masquerading as a god. This god was not a pleasant one, terminating the lives of citizens on a whim in an attempt to create a precisely controlled environment. We must wonder why the megacorp didn't just use machines to do their bidding. In any case, the Oracle still remained functional. It manifested as an elaborate 3D hologram of a tall arthropod female, clad in a long flowing robe. After much deliberation, and when it became fully apparent that this AI did indeed kill the inhabitants of the entire space station, we deactivated it while we determined what to do. If I remember correctly, my lords, some of you wished to tear it down in an attempt to back-engineer and study its parts. Others voted to use it as an administrator. One such example was raised by Lord Killen, who was a staunch proponent of using the Oracle as an administrator to preside over the penal colony Gamma, with the caveat of installing a termination sequence, should she get out of hand. That is exactly what we did, my lords. She has presided over penal colony Gamma for several weeks, and as I record this, all is well. Her key attributes are as follows. She has all the traits to become an effective governor, particularly should we need to build a colony from scratch. It appears that she has significant programming around city planning and infrastructure design. Her main strength, however, will be her ability to keep production high and crime low, likely at the cost of overall population happiness, but that remains to be seen. Finally, Grey, by far the most powerful of the entities we shall discuss today. As with the Oracle, my lords, I would hope you are familiar with the entity designated Grey, as we also discussed it a number of months ago. To briefly recap, we encountered Grey during our exploration of the L cluster. It was the only entity in the entire cluster situated upon a singular tomb world. It spent some time attempting to deceive us into thinking that it was a human, like ourselves, but despite the poor attempt at deception, always remained amicable throughout. As it happened, Grey was actually comprised of billions of nanites condensed down into a humanoid form. It told us that its creators called it the Nadi Shav, which translates to the Grey Tempest, or Grey for short. Grey told us a story regarding the history of the Desanu consonants and the nanites that they created. He explained how the gateways and L-gates were constructed, what happened to the Desanu, and the life the nanites led, from attempting to replicate their creators to their attempts to mimic life, including becoming dragons, over the several millions of years since they became trapped in the L cluster. Upon completion of its story, Grey explained to us that it would like to contract itself to us for no less than 5,000 years, stating it could serve as a governor, warship, or even a ground assault force. Since that time, Grey has operated as a de facto governor, overseeing construction of an ecumenopolis. It appears to be most suited for this role, having a truly excellent grasp of city planning and a marvellous architectural understanding. The project is well ahead of schedule thanks to its remarkable grasp of leadership. Furthermore, due to alterations made in the plans, we expect foundry output to be increased by no less than 35%. A remarkable feat. Truly, Grey will prove most valuable to the Empire. Thanks for watching, folks. If you want to learn more about Grey and its history, please click the video on screen now.